I am live, y'all. Um, as you come in, hit that thumbs up, share. We're gonna have a family conversation here. Okay. So we know the family dynamics, obligation versus moral code. That's what it is. Now, of course, Glorilla is the inspiration to this live. She is trending. Her sister is trending. So many celebrities is chiming in on this. Okay, we're talking about obligation versus moral code, especially in a time like this. Now, I took the time to look up her net worth. First and foremost, sometimes that stuff is not accurate. It could be high ball, low ball. Okay, sometimes it's not accurate. But look, the, we're gonna do the G code. We're gonna do the hood because we're talking about Glorilla and her family. Now, listen, what I feel is straight up, straight lace. Nobody is obligated to do anything. But when we talk about the moral code, it's important because when you at the bottom and you're scratching and surviving, you know, you would think when someone gets enough money, right, that they gonna put you on that. If you have a family dynamic like mine, right, everybody got ideas, right? Ain't nobody really made it to that level to where they could put someone else on. But when you become a millionaire, you start you move different. Okay, so I'm saying morally there is an obligation because we at the bottom. Okay, so everybody gotta think of how to become business owners, entrepreneurs when someone in the family becomes a millionaire, especially when it's a celebrity type of thing. Now, if it's 9 to 5 and you didn't went in and you didn't got an education and you got all these degrees and doctrines and you're engineer and this and that, that's a little bit different. Okay. But when you a celebrity, there's so many ways to put family on. Now, first and foremost, let me say this. Working at FedEx is a good job. So I don't know. Have you seen the benefits? They have 401ks and this and that. All right, so that's not some people that have these type of jobs, FedEx, UPS, and stuff like that. They got great benefits. All right, so it's so many right now that want a job at FedEx. So that's not a low ball type of career. Okay, some would say their benefits is better than some government employees. Now that's something to address there. The reason why I feel like she's morally obligated is because like Carlissa said, when you need a kidney, when she said that's all I needed to hear. When you need a kidney, the first person they're gonna go to is someone in the house, right? If you need something donated out of your body, the best match is the person in the house. Now, now, say if something like that were to take place, the first person she gonna go to is one of her siblings, right? Okay, so then the conversation switches. Would her sibling be obligated to donate a kidney? You know, would y'all say she was wrong if she did not donate one of her functional kidneys? Most people would say, yeah, because she could be no more, right? She could be no more if you don't. And she said, and sis say, I was so hungry, I, I almost ate a roach. You know what I'm saying? So when you that hungry, that's life threatening. Don't y'all think? Don't y'all think? So everybody's talking about how close they is to homelessness. Now, when you up there on that level, like Glorilla's level, where she all up in, where would she go to Tokyo, Japan, or something like that? That means you getting that money, honey. All right, we don't know how big she is overseas, but she getting some money. Now, everybody gonna be watching because we want to see if you start talking about you got a mansion. Now, I haven't seen no interviews. I haven't ran across no interviews where she was talking about her struggle. But if your mom's is over there living in a cardboard shack, and then you got all your siblings, some it seems like they divided. But in a family like that, when you got a sibling that get on like that and say this, that, and the third, it's all cat with Glorilla, do, you know, it tends to be believable. Now, of course, you have small timers that are in the industry that is trying to get put on, you know, that would say, no, she's not obligated to do nothing for her mama. She's not obligated to do nothing for her siblings. But then look around in their environment and put everyone on in that domain. Everybody gonna be in the video. Everybody gonna be this, that, and the third. And then when it's time to go to a hearing, that be the first person telling on you. That's how it go in the hood. But these are things that you don't understand when you're on your way climbing that ladder. Now, now I'm not sure what her zodiac sun sign is, but what I do understand is at a time where you got so many people that is struggling to eat, to live, and then you have sis say, sis say I got robbed because of you. Now I felt that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta run around here. You gotta run around here. You gotta wear beanie caps and six six pullovers and 10 pants and one of them thingamajiggies on your side. So because everybody know that's your and you broke, you poor. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna come take my money because my sister famous? And then y'all not talking? Glorilla know her family dynamic, okay? She know how hood politics go. So it's to be expected. Now, when I went to my team, the Angel team, the Big G, which is God Himself, said, this is an example of when you don't ascend, they come in. Now, someone say, well, she ascended, she made money. Sometimes the contract that you sign during your ascension process will be the contract that holds you back from reaching another level. So many feel like I don't want to ascend because I'm making money. Who's to say on the other side of that mountain that is not more money for you? Sometimes you got to say no because stuff like this happens. People start coming out of every place. Now we're talking about a millionaire. Glorilla is listed as a millionaire, like two to 5 mil. That's what the media is putting out about her. And then we're not talking about some local artist, you know, that's trying to get put on and um, get trying to get signed and everything. At that level, when she was just a local artist, was she expected to do anything? No, but there's so many local artists that do. The ones that is not seen as millionaires on media, they putting their family on. And then there is some that if they could do it, they would feel obligated to do it. Then you got to say, what makes somebody not want to support a family member? What makes them not want to support? When you sit back and you're sitting there and you saying, when I needed this, nobody was there for me. The variable was anybody there for the person that you feel like should have been there for you? We're talking about a family dynamic. If you're growing up and it's like a good times setting there and you've been struggling all of your life, when you get to a certain point, if you can help, you know, you expect it to help because that's the way you was raised. So nobody want. I mean, it's out now, right? It's out, and what I mean by that is everybody gonna be looking. Now, and she start coming up and saying she got a mansion and 17 cars. She done already aired it out. Now she got 10 siblings and moms work at FedEx. The family dynamic. One lady said she don't care if she was into it with her mama. Her mama gonna be the first person to get put on because when something happened, who you go back to? You always go back to your mom. You go back to your pops. We're talking about hood politics. This is how it happens in the hood. Now, for those that are millionaires and they already doing that, they doing that silently. They putting their family on. They got business in their name and everything else like that. I even see somebody put a was it Floyd Mayweather put a business in his grandson name. So it all depends on who you got in your ear. If you got a whole bunch of people that's yes ma'am, no ma'am, don't do this, don't do that, and then they got they hand in the hot honey pot, they're looking out for their best interest. They don't pretty much care what you doing for your family. At the end of the day, y'all all gonna come together. You may not feel like you is, but you will. So I'm saying there is a moral obligation. She don't have to. Of course, no one has to help anyone, but morally, it is right. Now, the shock of how the sis came out and said what she said is really no shock to the people from the hood because that's how we talk in the hood. This is how we. She was so compassionate, um, and she had so much energy. Not compassionate. She had so much energy speaking about her truth. I haven't seen no response yet from Glorilla. Now, you know, when I see stuff like that, when people start giving their takes and they say Glorilla's response and this and that, I've yet to see anything where she's addressing what happened with her siblings. It's a whole bunch of screenshots and this and that. So I really don't gravitate towards that. I went to her because look, the girl looked just like her. So we know that that's the sis. So I'm waiting to see whether or not if it's uploaded screen recording of her response. If she decides to respond, she might have a team that say don't respond to it, and then I would be leery of that team because it's already done been put out. Now everyone gonna be waiting to see what you do, what you have thus far. And if you pop out, or if she already say she got a mansion, they're gonna say, well, who in the mansion if the family ain't in the mansion? It's reminiscent of I made it and now I'm about to squat on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to take a dump on you. And when you have that type of approach with your own siblings, your own mother, what comes after that? It's a whole bunch of if Glorilla happens to see this, I'm gonna tell you like this. You need to approach this situation very, very delicately. because you're a public figure, you're a celebrity, and you're a millionaire. And in the same breath, I know you got a whole bunch of in your energy because it comes out in the readings. So when you know who gonna ride for you? The family look like they go there from what I seen. So if something happens, who gonna ride for you? Is the best friend gonna ride for you? Is the manager gonna ride for you? Or is they gonna put you in? Is they gonna put you dangle you like a carrot in front of a bunny? Y'all seen that stuff about what's his name? What's his name? They got some look-alike contest going about him. There's so much stuff in the news. And what's up with y'all in Atlanta? Like this is why I said that's one place I ain't ever going to. Gwinnett County, what y'all in the news like every hour. Y'all got so much going on over there. Like it's looking like Atlanta is not the place to be, in my opinion. But I just wanted to address the moral code. Don't let nobody get in your ear and tell you that you're not morally obligated because you are. God is watching. He know your struggle. First and foremost, everybody the sister said she had a job. She lost her job. What if you lose your job? Well, what if you have a down period or something? You gonna slide off silently to one of your siblings' house? If you got some real funk, who gonna be there? It look like them sisters, them sisters she had in the background. Them look like some riders there. You don't, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to make the mistake of losing your riders. Maybe it's just a sensationalized. Maybe they just wanted the trend. Yeah, it could be a little bit of that too. Let's get some beef, little sibling rivalry, in front of everybody, so we can trend real quick. Y'all, we got to be careful about that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like, they feel like bad publicity is the best publicity. So we don't want to get fooled here. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm starting to believe, like, wait a minute, did they set it off on purpose so everybody can start talking about it? But nonetheless, it changed the energy. I needed something else to talk about anyway because everything is always thick on this side. You know what I'm saying? I done seen all kind of stuff. You know, so before I start talking about what I'm surely going to talk about in the reading, I'm going to end this live, and I'm saying I'm with Carlissa. If Blueface Mom, I'm with her. And at first I was like, well, how do I talk about it? Because you know, if somebody if somebody has it, right? Now say if it's me, if I have it and one of my family members need it, I am going to do what is best for all of us and provide. Now, if there's a situation happening like pertaining to the ascension, where you don't know if that's really your sis, you don't know if that's really your mama, because this is a spiritual channel. Did something change there? Like, do you feel like something came into mom's body, sis' body, or something, or sis? Do you feel like is that really glow up in there because she acting different? You know what I'm saying? Because it could be a scenario like that too. This ether right here. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. That is it.